I'm still experimenting. I'm still experimenting with bobbin lace and resin. This time I'm making a lampshade. A lampshade is three-dimensional, and for this it has some problems to be solved or not to be solved, and now you see what I've done. Hello, welcome to my channel. My name is Uli Baisi. I'm a contemporary lace maker and I'm happy to welcome you here onto my channel. It's a while ago that I have been bringing out some videos on YouTube. I apologize for this. We had here a lot of really bad weather, and I also had the feeling that some were not happy what I was saying about contemporary lace, that they felt hurted because they are not doing contemporary lace. I'm sorry, I want to apologize for this, because this channel should be only about our love for bobbin lace, for the thread, making wonderful things out of threads, making great bobbin lace. It doesn't matter what kind of lace you are doing. I appreciate every kind of lace. If you're a beginner or you're doing lace for ages, it doesn't matter what kind of lace you're doing, binge, Russian lace, Idria, whatsoever. I just want to share my love with bobbin lace with you. That's all I want, and I'm really sorry if I have hurted someone. What I love to do is I love to go forward experimenting. I want to show you my world, what I'm doing, and in the moment it's a lot of experimenting. The last video I did was about making these flowers with resin and lace. It was a start. Well, not really happy about this, but it was a start. I will go on. I have something on my lace board for it, but it's not so far that I can make another video out of it. This time I have started another one to experiment with, and it's also about resin. If you remember, I told you that I'm quite how would I say it, quite I love light. I love it to have it light inside, so I need a lot of lamps and lampshades, and I'm very desperate in a moment for some lampshades, because I have just some naked bulbs, so that's not really nice. So I thought I tried to cast some lace for a lampshade, and well, this is what came out. That's the first experiment. It's not all good. As form, I used a water bottle. We have this big 6-liter water bottles, which I'm drinking out and getting my water from, and I use this as a mould. You might see, well, it didn't work out like I wanted. I wanted to have it fully cast, not like here. I wanted no holes in there. I wanted to have it cast fully, but it didn't work out. And the most difficult thing was the part, on the bottom, on the bottom, because this is going down a little bit, and so all the resin was running through there, and it was not staying on the top, and so I have these big holes here, and at the end I rescued it, that I put here some other lace around, so well, and it's not in the middle, it's absolutely it's like this, you will see later. Though it's not the greatest thing I've made ever, I want to show you how I've made it, and might be you find some other ways to do it. I have my idea what I want to do next, and this I probably think I should explain later in the video when you see what I've meant. So if you look inside, I don't know whether you can see it. You can still see the form of the bottle here. Don't know. It's not so easy to see. It is. Yeah, I will use the bottle as a mold again, because it's difficult to have something so big. About friends of mine married long years ago. It must have been around 2010 or so, and I made something similar, and I built a mold for it and also casted it in it. I didn't use resin, I used something else. Oh, I know, it was varnish. I've used varnish to fix the lace, and it was not meant to be fully casted. It just was here. I don't have a photo of them anymore. They were meant to be pots for flowers on the tables of the guests. They were really nice, but yeah, I don't have them anymore. And this time I just wanted to cast it all fully, so that would have been something very, very different. And I don't know whether I'm using this one actually, but I will probably in one corner. You can have never enough light in your house. Especially in Portugal, because in summer it's so hot, and through the windows the heat is coming in. The Portuguese houses sometimes don't have windows at all. Some have only some glass tiles on the roof to get the light in. Well, I couldn't live like this, but it's the way, and quite often the windows are really tiny to keep the warmth out. So my house itself has more the problem of the winter, because my walls are very thin. It's just one layer wood, and it's freezing cold. And well, it's winter. I have to go through it. It's not my first winter here, and I have a nice fireplace. So I show you how I made this one, and tell you then what kind of idea I will have for the next one. To start, I had to choose which I'm using, which lace I'm using out of my stock. This is one choice. I've cut a bottle in the size of the lamp shape I want it to be. So here you see one choice, and the next choice is going to see you will see here. That's the one I've chosen. That's it's a doily, and it's doily. It's a little bit longer than it is, so it's overlapping, and in the middle it has some linen. With the linen, it's quite nice because it's covering the bulb itself a little bit, so that's the reason I've chosen this lace. This is my workplace. I've covered it with some waste litter bag to protect my table, and I've protected myself quite a lot. Of course, resin you can only work with gloves, and also I've protected my clothes because it's easy to mess around, and that's not great. You see my fine scale here, and I've cut another bottle to mix the resin. On the left side you see a flower pot which I filled with stone, so it has some weight, and I will put the mould, the bottle, the cut bottle on top of it, so it's easier to work. Here I'm mixing the resin. As I said, I've cut out a water bottle, and this water bottle I have glued a line on with the glue gun to which place I wanted to go with the lampshade. Here I'm soaking the linen and to put it then onto the mold, onto the bottle. Here is the bottle, and I'm putting the lace on. I've made a little incision on the top and on the bottom of it, that the lace is staying in place. The incisions are about 3-4 millimeters wide, just to put a tiny bit of lace in so that it is holding, and then wrapping it all around the bottle. Trying to make everything as smooth as possible. So on the top or the bottom of the bottle, or the bottom of the final lampshade, I've made a circle, glued a circle with silicone with my glue gun. That will be the hole where I'm stacking the bottle on. And now you see me, I'm putting resin on the bottle because there is no lace. My aim was, I was aiming for resin to have at least 1 to 2 millimeter thick, and I also wanted to cast all the lace in fully into the resin, not only just soaking it in. I really wanted to have it fully inside of resin. So I'm trying here to soak everything, and especially on the bottom, I wanted to I tried to put the resin on, which went in to be a very difficult problem, because all the resin on the plastic was going into the middle, but also when it could, it also went down. So that was not really the way I wanted it to be, because you see there's some free spaces which I needed to have fully casted with resin. There's another attempt on the next day after it has dried to put the next layer of resin on. Here you see me again mixing. And again trying to keep the resin in place. Well, it didn't work out, not at all. It was all going either in the middle or just running down. My plan was to put several layers on, and you can see here in the middle there's the resin, and all the rest is gone. So this is really a problem, because I don't have any lace here that is holding, so I really need to have at least 1 or 2 millimeter thick layer of resin. But it's, well, it's going, it's leaving, it's fleeing away from me. So yeah, I tried then in the process of drying also to go again over the resin to keep it then into the place. Well, that didn't work out. And also because I wanted also the lace and the linen fully casted in, I gave it also then another layer of resin. The holes in between didn't fill up. It was just that the lace went to be thicker and thicker, and it lost really its delicacy. And you can see here as well that the resin is not lasting. I have a big hole there, and well, that didn't make me happy. At one point I had to admit that after a few days of trying to get some resin as a layer, that's not going to work out, and that I have a problem with the bottom because there is no lace, so there is only glue in the middle, and I have nothing to hold the lamp. So I used some extra lace out of my stack, and then soaked it in resin and put it onto the bottom, that it's going to hold the lamp shade to the lamp that's going to be connected. Yeah, I had to make sure that also the middle, where I have quite a good layer of resin, that this is going to be connected with the lace that it's going to hold. Finally, I had finished it. I'm putting here a bit more lace in. After drying then the next day, I've decided then to take the mould, the bottle out, and that was quite a difficult task because the bottom of the plastic was quite thick. But eventually I made it. You see there are big holes there, which doesn't make really it nice. And now you see I've taken the bottle out. The silicone in the middle, the glue, didn't pop out by itself, so I had to use my fine drill to take it out, which was not a problem at all. And then I have found out that I've measured wrong, and that the hole I've made is for the size of a smaller lamp. Never mind, no problem. I've also some smaller lamps, so that wasn't a problem. I'm a little bit adjusting the hole, and here you see the finished lamp. As I planned, the linen is covering the bulb. It's not very delicate anymore because of the layers of resin, so that didn't work out at all. And it's not straight. The solution with the extra lace on the bottom didn't really work out, so this is quite quite not straight. Yeah, for the next one I want to make extra lace for it, and of course it's not going to be covered, it's just being strengthened by resin or something else, like the varnish I've used years ago. I don't know what I'm going to use, and this lampshade will be a kind of Idria lace, I think, that could make a nice effect. Well, I'll see what's coming out in the next. You see, this one is not very delicate anymore. Yeah, I'm experimenting, you never know what's coming out. I wish you a good time. I wish you a good time lacing. Keep on with it, share your love with it, and enjoy life.